Piper Trail is a very intentional community, not unlike communities were designed 50, 60 years ago. It is a group of cottages that people will have their own private cottage, front porch living, very close to one another, and that's very intentional so that we can maximize the social benefits. I think it takes a village to live in a quality environment to help your well-being, and the whole idea of Piper Trail is to encourage people to know each other and make those friendships, those lasting friendships count. Our vision was to, again, create something that enhances the well-being for the people who move there. And traditional architecture doesn't do that. It has the ability to separate people, to isolate people. And what we're looking to do is to design cottages close together so I can have my own private home. Private home with the living spaces up front where I can see my neighbor walking by, where my porch is close enough to the sidewalk that I can have that conversation with that person. But it's designed very purposefully to keep people connected, yet allowing them to live a very independent lifestyle and bring in the services and support that they need when they need it. I'm designing places that I would want to live. And what's appealing to me, and I think appealing to a lot of people, is you can have your own place, yet you're not so isolated, walking distance from where you want to go. Not only did we talk about some of the adjacencies and the neighbors and the relationships, but within a half mile I can walk to shopping, to restaurants, to a hardware store, to an ice cream store, even better yet, as well as a clubhouse on site where they'll host a lot of activities. But I think the cottages are intriguing. I don't want a large house myself, and I think a lot of people don't want large houses. I don't want to maintain a big piece of property, nor do others. So I think it's just the right fit. It's enough space, it's comfortable, you have private bedrooms, you have living, dining, a lot of type of space inside your cottage, but it's not so big that you have to be constantly picking up after yourself. All the doorways, all the layout of the spaces, the width of the hallways, they will accommodate a person who's very healthy and vibrant. They will accommodate a person who ends up requiring a mobility device after a while. So they are all on grade. They are very accessible. So they're a little bit different, but hopefully those design changes are subtle and you wouldn't notice it walking through one. But you would notice it if by chance you ended up for a time in a wheelchair. A pocket neighborhood is a group of smaller cottages intentionally designed close to one another. That's very pedestrian first. The intention is that the cars don't get in the way, the wide streets don't get in the way. That it's focused around sidewalks, it's focused around shared public amenities, not large-scale lawns that you have to maintain that separate one another. So pocket neighborhoods are intentionally small by size. They intentionally only have so many cottages within a neighborhood. Like any social relationship, you get too many people in the room, it's a little uncomfortable to speak up. You get too many cottages in a neighborhood, it's a little more difficult to feel like your thoughts mean something or that your contributions are meaningful to the others. So it's intentionally close, it's intentionally small, and we limit the number of cottages in a way that people share some ownership of those common grounds and feel comfortable using them. Let's say, as an example, with a traditional residential subdivision, my front door might be 100 feet away or more from the street. I really can't talk to that person. I can yell at them if I recognize them, but I can't talk. So these are designed more closely together where when somebody walks by, I can talk to them. I have a front porch, which acts as somewhat of a buffer between the public sidewalk and my house. My living room, my kitchen, my dining spaces are all on the front of the cottage. And that way, when I'm sitting in my living room, when I'm making a meal at night, I notice my friends walk by and I can start up a conversation with them. I think the concept of a pocket neighborhood is going to be contagious in the Midwest. It concentrates on things that people want. People do not want large homes to maintain. They don't want large properties to maintain. But increasingly, people want to be active, to know their neighbors. Getting back to the idea that it takes a village this is creating a village, much like you might have seen 70, 80 years ago in the United States. What happens is when we put the cars in the front, that separates the front door. It separates the person from the neighbor walking by, and it pushes everybody farther apart, where you have fewer people living close together, so you can't maintain those relationships. So we've actually placed the garages. You get a 2-car garage with all these cottages, but they're off a rear alley, and that way it helps us, again, keep connected with people, not with our cars. People are demanding walkability. They want to be able to walk to, in an ideal situation, a grocery store, a restaurant. They want to have that ability to maintain that healthy, vibrant lifestyle. And this does just that. It's located in an area where I'm in very close proximity to a lot of wonderful assets that I can enjoy throughout the day. You can live in an environment like this within the caring mission of somebody like Lutheran Life Villages. And they can provide care as needed, they can provide support as needed, they can help coordinate activities or be the concierge for somebody who wants to coordinate a trip here or do this there. So it really is adding that level of carefree living with a trusted advocate in Lutheran Life Villages. And I think that's important to people. People can age in place at Piper Trail. The cottages are designed for somebody to age in place. They can live there as long as they want, and Lutheran Life Villages can help support that lifestyle. I have loved working on Piper Trail. It's very innovative in the Midwest, and I think those who decide to make that jump and move to Piper Trail, I think they're going to find out why it's an innovative community.